Frontal exposure. Everybody's opinion is a lie. Tonight, by popular request, we have the one and only Apostle David E. Taylor Comedy Channel, aka Lord Pender, on the phone. We're gonna go ahead and get started. How you doing tonight, Lord Pender?
Hey man, I'm doing well, thank you. How you doing?
Good, man. So you're the one and only Lord Pender. You've been doing your edits on David for what, about the past 2 years? Same as about all the channels have been up.
Yeah. I think it would have been like right when COVID was starting, but well, it was starting, I guess, in China and Italy, but it hadn't really became a thing here. I guess that would have been what is that? Was that 2019 going into 2020, or is that 2020 going into 2020? I can't even remember, but I think it was like around New Year's. It was during the year 2020, One Night with the King, I think, is when I first decided, you know what, I'm going to start making videos.
What spurred you to go ahead and start making videos on him? What was your reasoning behind it?
Man, obviously I was a big time follower. Like as soon as I saw the deposition videos back in what would have been like 2017, 2018, I just got hooked on those, and then I found the Cult Watch channel, right? So I binge watched those. Like I've seen every single Cult Watch video that channel owner has made since from start to finish. And every single time a new one would come out and I get a notification, I'd be working on my at my corporate desk, in the office with my headphones in, and I'd play that in the background while I cranked out some spreadsheets, and it just like made the day go by, and I was cracking my ass off, and cracking my ass up. And so that's kind of how it started. Then I started following your stuff, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to start making some videos on my own. So, not to say that I was trying to copycat like what Cult Watch was doing, but but at the same time, that was definitely an influence. I took kind of a different approach. Cult Watch kind of did like a compilation type of style of video, and whereas my videos are kind of more like based off of just one of his series. You know what I mean? Like how he does his little One Night with the King, or men's conference, women's conference. That's kind of how I like to do mine. Nice. And I don't want to say it became an addiction, but it's definitely a source of entertainment,
Yeah. Okay. He's definitely become a meme for sure, huh?
Yeah, I mean, now obviously since he's been in hiding the last 2 years, I'm kind of starting to run out of material, unfortunately. I mean, I still have some reserved materials. I'm just waiting to edit. I just got really busy, just with work and life, but definitely want to start making some more with a lot of the videos, archive videos I have. But once I get through those, I'm gonna be kind of strapped for material pretty soon, So
yeah. And in your opinion, like, what do you make of all this? What do you make of this cult, man? What you know of what you see, man? What do you make of all this?
Man, that could be like a 1 hour answer right there. But what do I make of this? Man, I definitely. My biggest thing is I'm just trying to figure out if he's ever going to put any new material out. If he's ever going to have a true Sunday service like he used to do, like a church would normally do, or is he just going to play reruns and try to collect money? I think the latter is the answer. And I like it. On one side of the coin, I like that he's kind of gone into hiding and shut down, because it tells me that his ministry's weakening. I don't know if he has 6 mansions now, so maybe it's not. But I think it just goes to show his message has never really been about God and preaching the word, or whatever you want to call it, the gospel, because he'd be doing Sunday services. He would be doing legitimate events, but they're all scams, as you can see. And so I think COVID was one part of why he, or at least that's probably his scapegoat for why he stopped doing things as actively. But I also think that, you and people like you and Cult Watch have maybe had something to do with it as well. He's just been ousted. I'm not sure, like, how he's still getting money. when he's not having actual like in-person services or really services at all. I'm not sure who would still be following this guy or how he would have the money to have. I think I added it up. It's like $20 million worth of real estate. Because I mean, unless he had 20 million of cash laying around, he's probably got some mortgages on those properties. And I'm just kind of wondering, okay, is the water well ever going to run dry for this guy and these people, or are they legitimately bringing in that much cash? And so I'm just kind of wondering where's the ministry going to go from here? Like, what's the next game plan? Because you can only keep delaying this whole virtual arena Orlando crusade, so long. You can only keep running reruns for so long. And I'm just kind of wondering what's his next game plan. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I sit here and wonder. What's his next game plan, man? And if you don't mind me asking, you're no way obligated to answer this, and I ask this very respectfully. Are you religious? Like, do you practice any sort of religion or anything like that?
I mean, I think like every average American Caucasian, I grew up, going to church and all that stuff, and I kind of, in my adolescent years, kind of flip-flop back and forth. Do I believe? Do I not believe? And honestly, like, I've been half my family's Catholic, half my family's Protestant, but honestly, like, I kind of consider myself an atheist at this point, honestly. But whether I was religious or whether I was not, me making these videos is not really an attack towards religion. Me making these videos is not an attack towards the guy because he's African American. I mean, no, if this was a white guy, if this was anybody, I'd be making these videos. But yeah, I mean, I'm not religious. I mean, I guess I used to be, but not so much anymore, I'd say. And honestly, like, I know that most churches do good things, regardless of if you believe in their message and Jesus and the higher power and all that. I do think many churches are in it for good reasons, but this is an example of, the people who make the church look bad to society, these Kenneth Copeland types who fly around in their, G650 aircraft and all of that, buying these big mansions. He's the one who gives Christianity a bad name. And so, the people like that are probably, reasons why people are leaving the church. They just don't trust it. They don't believe in this stuff.
Yeah. And what's your method? I think each of us has a different method for editing. What's your editing method? Like, how do you determine, like, what clips to use, things like that, and how,
Yeah.
What's your method?
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, I'm pretty well trained in like Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, some of those other. I mean, I've never used Final Cut Pro. I guess that's probably like the cream of the crop. I've never owned like Apple products or anything other than my iPhone. So I don't have time to do like this computer type stuff, or else I could produce just really good videos if I wanted to, but I don't have that much time, and I'm not getting paid for this. There's no monetary value attached to that, and so I've really just done it on my phone. There's an app on my phone I use, just a free video editing app, and I use that in combination with the screen record feature on my phone. And what I'll do is I'll just listen to some of his videos in the background while I'm working, and whenever he says something that is video worthy, I'll or highlight reel worthy, whatever you want to say, I'll write down that timestamp, and then I'll go back after I've written down all those timestamps, and then I'll rewatch the video again with my screen record rolling, and then I'll record those certain segments that I deemed editable or whatever, and use that recording as the basis of my video, and then I chop it down and rearrange it from there, throw in some effects. They're very cheap, cartoony effects if you probably haven't noticed. And again, that's because I'm using my phone. I'm not trying to, be a Steven Spielberg with this thing. Although, I like I said, I can produce higher quality stuff. It's just I don't have the time, and so it's just all done from my phone. That's kind of all I do.
Now, in your opinion, do you think it's Christianity doing this or the prosperity gospels? Just in your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the prosperity gospels, I mean, I understand why churches are considered nonprofits. There's probably a lot of people in society who argue about that. You know, hey, one of these churches is going to pay their taxes like everybody else. But, you know, as long as churches are, when they pass that offering plate around, are using it for true charity and not, you know, other things, I guess, then it's cool. I mean, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I've never really been like a quote unquote member of a church, but like I've gone and like visited churches, and the preacher during the sermon's like, all right, let's take a look at our financials for last year. And I'm like, man, am I sitting in on an earnings call for a corporate job? Like, what the heck is this? You know, and it kind of, I wasn't even a member of the church, and it kind of made me feel uncomfortable that they're like going over their balance sheet and income statement in the church service. But I don't know. I'd like to, I guess like everybody else, which I guess if you donate to St. Jude and Red Cross and some of these other organizations, I guess you just hope that the names they've built themselves upon is for good reason, because they actually do these things, and that if you donate money, it's going where you think it's going to, you know, but I guess you don't really know. You're just putting trust in that. And I guess same thing, you know, I would hope that churches are doing the same thing, you know. They're taking those offerings and they're buying 18-wheeler trucks and feeding the homeless.
Do you think David is doing? Do you think David is in fact doing what he says he is with all the money?
No way. No, there's no chance. No, not at all.
Okay. Hey, here's Negan. Real quick, we didn't say gives Christianity a bad name. People like David, okay, the prosperity ministers, okay, Kenneth Copeland, Paul White, who we got Todd White out there. There's a lot of these guys out there, okay? It's not just David. There's a lot of the prosperity gospel ministers that are completely exploiting the seed faith. Let's get that clear, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get that
like
clear, Negan.
Even Joel Osteen, you know.
Yeah, Joel
like,
Osteen, he's just like that.
I used to live down in Houston, and you know, it's a pretty big name and all that. And if you listen to one of his TV shows, like, they're great messages, right? Yeah. I mean, even if you weren't a believer, you know, sometimes these pastors give kind of almost like a motivational speech type of message. Like, even if you don't believe in Christ or that story, well, at least it's like a good, like, what do you call it, moral into the story that's in some of these sermons. And so I mean, I respect that, but at the same time, you look at Joel Osteen's, you know, huge stadium he's packing in, and like his huge mansion down the street.
Negan brought up a good point. They're strictly motivational speakers. That's it. These guys are motivational speakers. Yeah, Negan, you were fucking spot on, dude. Negan, you were fucking spot on, dude. We can agree on that, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I will agree with you on that any fucking day. People are donating to a fucking self-help program under the name, and these guys are using fucking religion and God to do it, dude. That's the point. That's the point. Sorry, dude. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, and not to get too philosophical, but yeah, like recently, like I've been watching like a lot of Christopher Hitchens videos. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a British journalist, writer. Gives like a lot of like debates on like atheism versus Christianity, all that stuff. But I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of his stuff lately, and I'm just like, I don't know. That's what's kind of made me rethink my whole. But anyways, I don't really care, I guess, to talk about my personal beliefs. I don't really care about that. I know that I came here to talk about apostle, I guess.
Yeah. No, we really want to talk about you and your content tonight, but I want to answer questions too, because there's questions coming in too. You guys got questions for Lord Pender? He's here, man. You guys got him. We're talking about his content. You know how long his channel's been up. I have a question, dude. Did you ever get hit with you got hit with the copyright strike, right?
Yes, I did. So I've gotten hit with, I guess, a few of them. Okay. Like early on when I started to make my videos, maybe the first year I was doing this, I got popped with several of them, and I thought that was it. Like I thought, okay, my channel's done. I'm never going to be able to post again. They removed videos. I can't get the videos back up, and I think a couple of them were permanently taken down. But then I went through the whole process that YouTube makes you do, which is actually a pain in the ass. Like I had to write a whole paragraph, they actually make you put your real name down. And I was like, man, am I supposed to really put my real name? Because if I do, then Apostle sees that and he will know my name and address and phone number, like legally. And when I got these copyright strikes, it shows that David E. Taylor submitted this copyright strike. Like, so it was him or somebody in his organization on behalf of him. Because if somebody files a copyright strike, then that transparency is there. I get to see who files it, and then he gets to see who tries to dispute it.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, damn, like, am I violating like perjury, perjury laws?
Copyright.
If I put a false name and false address. And so I was like, man, what do I do? So I kind of half put my real name and half put my fake name and put like an old address. And I was like, okay, I think that's a good like middle ground if YouTuber's going to come after me for fraud or something, you know what I mean? But anyways, nothing ever happened with that. I actually won a lot of those copyright disputes. So that was cool. Okay. And, but I couldn't post for 30 or 60 days or something. That sucked. But anyways,
Dang, you got hit for 60 days.
Then I went on a run for like a good, like 50 videos. And I was like, okay, hell yeah. And that was back before I was putting like the copyright message at the beginning of my video at the end. And before I was putting that in like the description. Whether that helped or whether that's just a coincidence that I stopped getting copyright strikes against me, I'm not sure, but that's what Cult Watch recommended I do. So I started doing that and didn't really have any issues. And then recently, just like he did with you, David went on a freaking tear. I got like 8 YouTube emails and said David E. Taylor has filed a copyright strike against this video, and I was like, shit. Here we go again. And that's when I like got worried that my channel was going to get taken down, but it was just another one of those 30-day bans until YouTube made the final decision. And my favorite video, I think the best one I've ever made, was the one where I put like the Gladiator and the Matrix clip in there. And I think that's why it was taken down, is because I was actually using like films, copyrighted films in there, and even though they were just clips, but I wrote back to YouTube. I was like, hey, I realize I'm using this, but there's no monetary gain here. I don't care about any of that. This is just for parody purposes. And then they actually put the video back up, so I was stoked about that. And I haven't had any more strikes yet. I guess it's because he was too busy filing them against you, huh?
I don't know. But what I found out from Cult Watch is that it takes time to file those copyright strikes, man. It takes just as much time to counter them, I think, as it does to file them. I think it takes longer to file them, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, probably. But man, if he filed like 30 or 40 at you, is that something he has to do individually? Because that would take a long time, huh?
Yeah, it would. 42 videos, dude? Yeah. And you have to go through it, and he has to put in the timestamps of what the copyrighted material is. And he copyrighted the documentary, and it was like, so it shows he's watching the videos.
Oh, the documentary I think your Israeli buddy made, or is this a different one?
No, it's the boy, Israel #1,
Okay.
That we all put together.
Anyways, he could keep following them because I'm just gonna keep disputing them and I'm gonna keep winning. So
I got a question from Michael Perry, who's one of the mods in the chat. Lord Pender, what would it take for you to stop making videos against asshole? And do you have anyone else in your sights? He didn't say asshole. I'm interpreting David as asshole. He said David E. Taylor, but I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, what would it take for me to stop?
Yeah.
Wait, like what do you mean? I guess
like how you do videos, how you do the videos about David. What would it take for you to stop doing those videos? Like, would it take a strike? Like, would it take something? Something like that.
Man, I feel like this is like I feel like we have a mole in the chat. Is this like one of David's people like asking me what I'm
dude.
I'm joking. The only thing that's gonna stop me is like not having any new content, which is gonna happen pretty soon because I'm running out of material. I have some reserved archive videos because just when I think I've seen every single one of his videos, I find another source that has some old stuff I've never seen. I'm like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm running slim on that, so I might have to start doing something kind of different. I might have to just make like some type of different compilation. Like somebody has once recommended I do like a compilation of, what did they say? You know how, have you ever seen those videos where somebody takes a bunch of different segments of like Trump or Biden or somebody saying a bunch of different things, and it makes them, and they put them all together in an order to make them say something that they didn't really say. But I don't know. They said they threw that out as an idea, but that would just take way too long. I don't have that time. But anyways, no, that's what it would take is just me simply running out of material.
Okay, here's Negan. See, Negan, we're on the same page here with some of the shit we're talking about, dude. I'm not against you, dude. We'll talk about that later. Do you have anyone else in your sights that you would like to do parodies of?
I mean, wait, do I have anybody else like David I would like to do parodies of?
Yeah, have you seen anybody like on the just in general? I'm not saying any religious leaders.
Nobody even comes close to the mysterious, I don't know what you'd call it. Quirky, just
it's like
just nobody comes close. Just because I just don't think that anybody says such ridiculous things in such a quote unquote like serious, holy spiritual position. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, unless I try to go find like some Afghani like extreme Sufist like Muslim imam over there with Al Qaeda, but I don't speak Arabic, so I don't think I could do that very well. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen somebody who's like this dumb yet this bold, you know, and arrogant. Like I mean, I could probably do some parody videos on like more famous people, but I'm not really interested in that. I don't know. I like this little niche I have going for me just because I became, I guess, it's just the deposition videos. Like I just can't believe that somebody who has blatantly, you know, has all this evidence against them, yet they're able to still own 8 matches, you know, because they hide behind this 501c3, whatever the hell it's called, you know, facade of a quote unquote church, nonprofit church, and that's the only reason the guy isn't in a bunch of legal trouble is because of that nonprofit veil, and because technically, if people are dumb enough to give his church millions of dollars, he can technically do what he wants with it. Now, I don't know. I guess that could be argued. I'm not a tax attorney, but that's just what's so unbelievable to me. So, like, I for the longest time, I wanted to try to take this guy down, but, like, I'm only one guy, and I don't, you know, like I said, it comes down to time, but, yeah.
If David E. Taylor is watching right now, what's one thing you would say to him?
Well, I talked to him on the phone back when I was in Tampa, which I was actually in Tampa living there. And then I move away from Tampa, and then the motherfucker buys 2 mansions down there. I'm like, damn. Like, I wish I would have stayed in fucking Tampa. I could have fucking driven by that dude's house, you know? But I could have done some espionage work. But, no, I called him when I was in Tampa because you had sent me that long list of the JMMI numbers. Yeah. And the very first number I just picked, and it happened to be Apostle's, like, personal cell phone. And I didn't know that. I was just calling a random number. I was just going down the list. The first one I called, you know, which I've called that number before, and it's usually like his secretary or somebody who answers, and they're like, this is the office of Apostle or some shit like that. And so I called the number, and it was like 9 o'clock at night or something, and that motherfucker picked up, and I didn't expect him to pick up. It was almost like, you know, if I was like a German guy calling a phone and fucking Hitler picks up, you know, you hear that voice, you're just like, holy shit, like, you don't know what to say. So I froze up, and there was like a million things going through my mind of what I wanted to say, but I couldn't figure it out. So I acted like, I wish I would have said something different, but I acted like I was, you know, interested in some events, and hey, when are you gonna, you know, do more in-person services? And he's like, oh, well, we're gonna be, you know, he was talking in his deposition voice. Oh, well, you know, we're going to be doing some events really soon. Kind of like that, almost like a deeper Michael Jackson voice is the only way I can describe it. And he's like, oh, we're gonna be having some events on our website. Just check that real soon. And hey, can I say a prayer for you? And he said a prayer for me over the phone. It was something along the lines of please destroy his enemies and protect him against his enemies. And I'm like, my God, like. But yeah, I really wish I would have used it as a different, used that phone call to have a different type of conversation with him. But I kind of froze up, honestly. I was like, because I wanted to really get at him, but at the same time, I didn't want him to just hang up on me. And I wish I would have had like a recording device or something, because I would have posted that conversation too. But I just had no way to do that. I wasn't prepared because I didn't expect him to answer.
Yeah, I've called his number before, and it's been a woman, and she is fucking mean, dude. She's horrible.
Really? Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know if that line just goes to some random person's cell phone number, or if they're just like sitting in the same room as him. I don't know if it's one of his concubines or what, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that. It could be like if he doesn't recognize a number, because the thing is, he's got donors down in Tampa and shit, So if he sees a Tampa number coming through, oh, Tampa, Florida, it must be one of my donors. Oh, I'm gonna go and pick up the phone. Yeah. Kent wants you to say David. Call him David. Let's see.
What'd you say?
So Kent, he's one of the channel followers. He said, Lord Pender, please say David.
David. I don't get it.
Well, because you know how Michelle always said, don't call him David.
Oh, don't call it. Oh, yeah.
Don't call him David.
Was that a phone call? Was that like a voicemail she left you? I forget where that's from.
No, that was an actual phone call, man. That was a phone call that's a long story, man. That was
David.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his staff all trained to call him sir. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like the general he thinks he is.
Yeah, and they call him apostle. He's just the greatest prophet and apostle in the whole wide world.
Mm-hmm.
This disgusting. This is a full-blown destructive religious cult, everybody. If you're just tuning into the chat, if you're new here, what we're talking about. This is a content creator, Apostle David E. Taylor comedy channel. He's been creating all that really funny shit that have been probably making you guys laugh your fucking asses off for the last year and a half through the pandemic. This is the guy right here that's been doing it, okay? So,
I need to produce more content. I apologize. I haven't. Just
you got life, man. Everybody's got
work is just too busy.
Yeah, definitely. I get it. Let's see if we got any more chat questions. Let's see here. You guys got any more?
Yeah, it's late on a Friday, so you probably don't have a lot of viewers right now. I understand that.
Yeah, no, there's 21 people watching right now. We got Cat Mom, we got Kent, we got Here's Meeting.
That's 18 more than Apostle's average sermon, so that's good. That's good numbers.
Frank DeMan Allen. No, on his Zoom, he's got like 75 people watching. I already got kicked off of it earlier, so I was there for maybe 14 seconds.
Is it still just reruns and like Tony and Ashley and Joseph just on the stage talking?
Absolutely.
The same shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird because, like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of the stuff's recordings, but a lot of the times when Tony or Steve and them are like on stage, like that's like a live thing. But I just find it kind of weird that he has 8 mansions, but he still has people up at the Taylor facility. There must be a lot of people who actually still live in that building, even though they have all these houses. But it's just weird how they're recording something as if they're having an in-person sermon there, but it's really just to like try to sell his books, and it's almost like an introductory thing and a closing like a closing thing for his video replays. It's kind of weird. I don't know if they do that to try to make it look like it's a live new sermon or what, but I just find that kind of weird. They like talk for about 10 minutes about his books and say, okay, here's a great word, let's see what Apostle has to say, and they act like they're looking at the screen, and it's like something that I saw like 5 years ago play again. So I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Spam. Indeed.
Because I keep trying to watch his videos as he posts them, hoping that like it'll be new content or that he'll finally come out of quote unquote shutaway. But I'm disappointed every time. It's always something play.
David, we're disappointed in you. Bad David E. Taylor. Bad David E. Taylor.
Yeah. David needs to come out of hiding so he can
come out of hiding, David.
Content.
Bad David. Bad David. If you could say one thing to David, though, what would you tell him? Tell David
okay,
one
if
thing.
I could say one thing to David, I'd say I just ask him. I'd ask him when Nellie's house is expected to be finished.
Okay.
When the renovations on Nellie's house are expected to be finished up. That's what I would ask him right now.
Good question. Yeah, $985,000 purchase. It was listed at $600. Right. Short sale. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, man. I know you said you only have 30 minutes tonight. Do you want to keep going? We can keep going, man. For sure.
Oh yeah. No, I can keep going as long as people care to listen or want to listen. I don't really care either way.
Yeah. We're rolling right now. What questions you guys got for him, man? It's definitely not personal for you, for David, then, right?
What do you mean personal?
Like what you do with your channel, it's not personal?
I mean, he's never done anything personally to me except maybe make me spit my drinks out on my keyboard a couple times. But he's never physically done anything to me.
To all of us, y'all make sure you follow my boy Apostle David E. Taylor Comedy Channel, aka Lord Pender. Smash that like and subscribe on his channel. Doing great things over there, man. He kept us all going.
But no, I have nothing personal against him. I you know, COVID kind of ruined things, and then now he has like all these mansions, and so now like it's more of a shell game. Like you don't know which one he's living at. I mean, I'm sure it's the most expensive, the $8.3 million one, but you know, that's one thing I wonder. He has like 6 different mansions plus the big ass, Taylor building.
Yeah, that's just an absolute. I can't believe.
I mean, that's just a lot of real estate. That's a lot of electric bills to be paying. And think about how many people it would take to truly fill those places if you're going to actually have inhabitants there.
Yeah.
You'd have to have maybe 30, 40, 50 cult members, and like, does he really have that many people as part of his cult full time? And like, does he say, okay, 10 of y'all are going to stay at this mansion, 10 of y'all are going to stay at this one? I mean, David to me seems like he would be too greedy to have like these 20-something-year-old volunteers or whatever, just like staying up in a freaking pimped out mansion. Like, but maybe he does treat his cult members nice in some way. Maybe, okay, it's all right, you guys can only have food stamps, but don't worry, you can live in like Nellie's mansion. And so it's like, I don't know. I have no clue how you would even, because there's not like set the geographical distance aside, right?
Yeah.
Because you got some house in St. Louis, you got some operations in Detroit, and then now you have some in Florida. I mean, how do you get from one place to the other? I mean, that's a lot of travel expenses too. So I just don't really understand it, and I think that's part of his ploy is just create all these different entities and just keep people guessing. And you know what? I mean, yeah, he's keeping me guessing. That's fine, I guess.
And I think, in my opinion, that's right. That's like, well, oh man, I totally lost my train of thought. Fuck, man. I was gonna go into something and say, fuck, totally brain farted though. Man, damn it. Let's see here.
Well, yeah, I mean, what I was planning on doing, like, for a while was I was legitimately, and this is when he was still kind of having in-person services, but then COVID came around and so that kind of killed that. But what I was first going to try to do is kind of do what Jeff Morton did, is I was going to try to go up to Taylor and actually just kind of, rent a car, be very inconspicuous, and just kind of go creep around the Taylor building kind of with my amateur cell phone camera and just kind of, film around, see what was going on, and post it on YouTube, or if he was going to have an in-person service, I was going to actually try to attend and, film it and, make a video, give my feedback or something. But, that was kind of thrown out the window. So then, I got on White Pages, I did my investigation, found all those addresses, linked to all of their cult members' names, and so figured out which ones were their active houses. And I was going to go, like, again, do a similar thing, like, not do anything illegal where I was trespassing, stalking, whatever that would, because I was literally just going to scope out the places,
Just to see.
within the legal realm.
Yeah.
And then now that he has these, gated properties and stuff, that kind of threw that out the window. I mean, I was actually thinking about, maybe going to Chesterfield or maybe even going down to Tampa and trying to like get as close as I could, even if that meant me hopping a fence or two. But I was like, that might be a little too much. So I backed off of that idea. But I thought about it for a while.
Yes, he does. William Don, he gets tax breaks on the mansions he owns. He'd be writing it off as a church parsonage, correct? Yes, but he can only get one fucking write-off. He's trying to get multiple write-offs, man. You can only have one write-off on a parsonage when you're a church, dude.
Well, maybe is that why he has 3 different church names, so he can have 3 different.
I think that's what
to write off.
I think that's what he's doing. He's gonna try and write one off in each church name, but he can't do that, man. It's really fucking illegal what he's doing with the tax law.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Yeah, man. Let's see. More questions here.
Yeah, because that church that, in the deposition video, how he mentioned, so we used to let this church use our building. She says, what was the name of that church? He says, Kingdom Family Church, KFC, and that kind of became like a meme within itself, and some people might, thought he was just making that up on the spot, but no, that wasn't another church. That's what JMMI used to be called. They used to be called Kingdom Family Church, and then it became JMMI. So that was his church before that.
Yeah. Yeah, Cat Mom
But
said.
anyways.
Yeah, we're starting to jump into tax law and stuff, like what they're talking about. Cat Mom is. It's like
I mean, I work in corporate accounting, but I'm not good at the tax stuff.
Tax stuff gets a little twisted, but well, shoot, man, I'll let you get going. I'm gonna jump in the chat here and answer, get with the group here. Jump in the chat with us, man. Let's keep chatting. I want to answer.
Okay, yeah, I'm away from my computer right now. I just have my phone on me. I guess I can do it from my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I want to get, because we're gonna start. I think we're gonna start talking about some other stuff here too. You got one last thing you could say to David? What do you want to say to him?
Oh man, I don't really have anything to say because I know he wouldn't listen to it. You know what I mean? I know it wouldn't faze him because he just doesn't care. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So I don't have anything to say to him other than hurry up and make some new content and have some more in-person services so I can come attend and laugh my ass off live in person.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll go with you.
Yeah, that's all I really have to say. I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool, man. I'll let you get going, everybody. Apostle David E. Taylor Comedy Channel, also known as Lord Pender. So thanks for your interview. Thanks for your time tonight, Lord Pender. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your content.
Yeah, man, let's do it again soon. And
definitely.
Yeah, I'll have some new videos out. I don't know when, maybe in the next month.
Once I get a new setup, maybe we can.
Once
I get a new setup, maybe we could start paneling some of the content creators here, kind of, and see and go about it that way.
I'm open. If people have recommendations of what they want to see, I'm open. If you give me ideas, I can roll with that.
Okay, you guys hear that? If you guys have recommendations for, say, content, like you have, maybe you have another prosperity preacher out there you want to see exposed. Maybe he's up for it. Ask the guy right here. He's willing to do it, man. I'm sure he would have no problem putting out some funny ass content for you guys. So keep that in mind. But all right, I'll let you go.
All right,
Hell, Lord Pender.
Hey, remember, man, your opinion is a lie.
Peace out, brother.
Hey, I'll see you, man. Hey, let's do this again real soon. Maybe let's get Betsy Kobo on or something.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, we need to do a panel, bro. We need to do a panel. That would be fucking fun, bro. And do David's deposition. And we could panel David's depo, and we could all throw in our own commentary and shit, and just to fucking destroy him again.
Yeah, man. Well, let's keep watching this bastard.
All right, man. You stay safe, brother.
All right, I'll see you, man.
All right, be good. Bye. All right, that is the one and only Lord Pender. Hell, Lord Pender. So that's the guy that's been bringing you guys all the content. And the thing is, speaking of content creators, David, you created this, dude. You created it, David. You created this content. You created this group, okay? You created this group of fans, right? You have a group of fans here for sure, right? Just not the type of fans that you want, buddy. That's it. You got fans right here, and we're watching you, dude. We're watching you, and just like Lord Pender said, David, put out some new content so we can fucking laugh some more, dude. Your content was probably some of the most golden content on the internet through the pandemic, David. Do you not realize that? Do you actually not realize that? Your content was worth its weight in gold, man. It really was. It was worth your weight in gold. Nope, none of this stuff is made up. None of this stuff is made up here, guys. What we're talking about here is all real shit. It's all real. Yeah, right? Chris Highfield, it's gold, dude. It is. Like, David's content is comic gold. Would anybody disagree? I'm not gonna. No way, dude. Hell, Lord Pender in the motherfucking house. Let's see. There were some good questions I was seeing here too. Let's see here. Yeah, the HOA meetings. Oh, down at the Avila Country Club. Yeah, I would love to be in a fucking one of those meetings, and I don't. Oh, for Lord Pender. Lord Pender! It's my boy, man. That's my boy, Lord Pender. Good people there, man. Hit that like and subscribe on his channel, Apostle David E. Taylor Comedy Channel. That's the master right there, fucking bringing you guys all that funny ass content. Like you said, like David has done nothing more than make us like laugh and spit shit out of our mouths. It really has, David. You know how many people have said on the channel that, like, on all of our channels, dude, like, damn, that was the funniest shit. Like, why I just spit shit across the room because I laughed so fucking hard. I would love to know, like, how many people have actually done that. Have actually, like, been sitting there watching David, watching one of the cut-ups, and then, like, something laughs, and they just spit shit out of their mouth. People have told me that, like, hey, man, your guys' shit between all the channels is, like, I'll be sitting there eating or drinking, and they'll say, hey, thanks for letting me, like, shit just came out of my nose and mouth. For real, dude. Mm-hmm. For real shit, man. For real shit. Real stuff, man. And that's the thing, David. You created this, man. I cannot tell you enough, like, how you created this yourself, dude. Oh, to the prayer line? Yeah, man, they didn't stand a fucking chance. Nah, they didn't stand a chance. They didn't stand a chance against me on that one. I can't get through to those guys no more. Every so often, dude, I'll get a phone call from one of them. They'll call from the phone number and they just fucking block me afterwards. But once they find out who it is, they're like, yeah, we can't call this guy anymore. It's like, Chris, I can't, dude. I can't. I've been blocked from pretty much every fucking single number that is tied to that. That's tied to them. Really. I have so many numbers from them, dude, and every single one I've been blocked from. Been blocked from. Like I said, every so often I'll get a call. And they don't last long. They know it's me when they call. They're like, oh shit, it's him. Click, they just hang up. Because they can't. They don't got shit on it, guys. They don't have anything on this movement. They don't have anything on what we've done here. They can't. Again, exactly why David's gone into hiding is because he can't come out and keep all these lies up. He can't. There's no way. There's no way he can come out and say, oh, all this stuff I've been saying is true. Here's the proof. He's compounded so many fucking lies. It's to think of, I mean, if David were to come out and try to fix all this, I mean, yeah, how many people, right, have actually fell asleep to that deposition?
Your opinion is a lie.
I have. For a long time I fell asleep to it.
That's right, I said it.
Yeah, they're parked they're parked at the main cult headquarters.
Don't call him David.
They're parked at the main cult headquarters up in Taylor. Chris Highfield, what is it? Yeah, I fell asleep to it. Who hasn't? Who didn't fall asleep to David's deposition? Raise their hand. I did. Lots of times, David. And question. What for you guys? Like, what was it that made you fall asleep? Was it David's voice or was it Colleen's? I'm trying to figure out. I think for me it was Colleen's. Colleen was a fucking beast, man. Listening to her fucking roast that piece of shit, that was probably the best fucking thing ever.
Don't call him David.
Right? You couldn't get enough of it, Soren, right? Absolutely, you couldn't get enough of it. Look at Mom. You got those turkeys at your back door. Kelstorm, what's up, motherfucker, in the house? Good to see you tonight. We're talking about, I just did an interview with Lord Pender, but right now, what were we talking about? We're talking about Kelstorm. Did you ever fall asleep to David's deposition? I did. Hearing him get rolled on? Okay, that's what you got a kick out of? Yeah, I think it was, for me, it was listening to Colleen just fucking roasted, man. Colleen? Okay, Colleen. Can you what? Kelstorm, call in? I don't think so. I don't think you could fill out the form. You have to be in the States. You have to be a taxpayer in America, unfortunately. I wish. But I think you have to send it from the States, man. You got to send it from America.
Call him David.
You know.
The ministerial thing.
Okay, sorry, Kelstorm. Yeah, no, I didn't know what you were saying. I apologize. That was my bad. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Tie up his phone line so he can't fucking scam people. If I had a virtual machine and I knew how to do shit like Kit Boga was doing, goddamn right, I'd be right on that motherfucking forefront. I'd be right up there with them. Fuck yeah. What those guys do is absolutely amazing. I watch those guys, and those guys are kicking ass, man. Those guys are fucking killing it with these scammers, dude. And honestly, I wouldn't mind doing it to these fucking religious call centers. What they're doing, like how they're setting up these religious call centers to scam people like David. I think that's a whole new forefront that somebody could touch on if they're not scared to. And I know people are scared to touch religion, right? And I get it. People are sketchy to touch religion because there's too many fucking fanatics out there. That's true. There really is. There's fanatics all over the place with religion. And there's people that are willing to do anything about it. And
your opinion is a lie.
My opinion's a lie. But that's what I would recommend.
But I can assure you I'm not doing anything illegal.
What I think what it should, somebody were able to shut down David's call center by doing it virtually. That would be the shit. That would be awesome. No, Cat Mom, I believe there's multiple. I think there could be multiple. I know the main one is no doubt like all the phone equipment concerning the people on the stage. Hang on, I'll get to your question, William Don. Cat Mom, the main call center is going to be in Taylor. But with all these big houses, you don't know how many call centers they could be having set up at any one of these. You never know. They could have 3, 4. I know they're not up in Chesterfield. I know that for sure. I know they're not up in St. Louis right now. They're down in Florida. They're down in Florida. What were you guys talking about concerning the people on the stage? Hey, William Don, can you elaborate on that, brother? Concerning the people on the stage. The people on the stage, I mean, for the most part, they look like shit. They look tired, worn down, burnt out, run down. You know, and talking to some people, some of my sources who have had interaction with this group, yeah, there's good people in this group that are caught up, and it sucks. It's sad. It really is. It's really sad that there's good people caught up in this group with David, this cult, like Joseph, Ashley. Like, these are good people here. They're just caught up with the wrong guy, David. The stage team look kind of lost. Yeah, okay, Kelstorm, you with me there? Yeah, they look lost, right? Lost in the sauce, right? They look like they're kind of just on like autopilot. And also, yeah, Kelstorm, the opinions are growing and not in his favor. The IRS have to listen if enough reports come in, surely. Yes, Kelstorm, the IRS will have to listen. That's people out there saying, oh, it's not going to work. You guys are... Okay, we had a gentleman in here earlier Here's Deacon. He basically said in one of the comment threads earlier that we're fighting a war that's like fighting Afghanistan. And I'm like, okay, elaborate. But we didn't get a chance to do that. But if that's the case, all right, why would the IRS give us forms to fill out? Why is he going into hiding? Why all the secretive? Why the cease and desist telling me to stop filing tax fraud reports? Here's Negan, right? It says that right here on the report that they're telling me to stop filing fraud reports against him, which they absolutely, they can go fuck themselves, okay? It's almost illegal for them to tell me to do that. It's not illegal, but they're crossing some really funny boundaries when they're telling a tax-paying citizen to not file corruption reports against a tax-exempt organization that is in fact corrupt, right? So it really is. We are not going about this the wrong way. Here's Negan. Let me just tell that to you right now, okay? We have to do this bureaucratically. We have to play the long game in this. You might think it's a fucking short game, but let me be clear about something, dude. This isn't a short game, okay? Anybody here who thinks this is a short game, put on your fucking running shoes and grab a couple pairs, okay? Because this is not a short game, guys. This is a long fucking game we're playing. Guarantee, promise you, that's why I'm here, because everybody else is giving up. I'm not fucking giving up, okay? Too many coincidences to be legit now, in my opinion. Sorry, lie. Your opinion's a lie. Here's the thing. We have to play the bureaucratic game. If you're here in America and you're paying taxes, fuck yeah, dude, Tom, you call in any time, dude. Hang on. Hold up. Hey, Tom, call my cell phone. You have my cell number. You call my cell number. Don't call the Google Voice number, dude. Call my cell number, bro. Okay? This is Tom. He's a survivor of this cult. And he's called in a little while ago and told his story and kind of let us know what was going on. You know, and there's a lot of dynamics here that he explained before about how controlling these people are. He left his home state and moved to be in that cult. What up, my brother?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, hang on one second. It's coming in kind of fuzzy, bro. Stand by. Give me 1 second here. Okay, how's that? Better?
Yeah, you sound good. What about you?
Yeah, it's coming in real fuzzy, bro. Sounds like real echoey and like kind of like I can't hear you that good.
Let me try different headphones.
Okay. Baker boy, we live. All right, you there, Tom?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, that's way better, dude. Yeah, way better, bro. You got the floor, dude. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hopefully this one cuts off randomly sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't cut off randomly, but I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. What you got going on tonight, man?
I had one thing on my mind. Well, first of all, Lord Pender, great to hear his voice. I think he did a great job.
For sure. That's my guy there.
I'm getting some. All right, I think the feedback's gone. You can hear me clearly?
Oh, yeah. You guys hear him okay? Thumbs up. Throw me a thumbs up if you guys can hear him. I can hear you just fine, man. And if I'm pretty sure they can hear you pretty good.
Let me just make my point. Is as somebody who was there, David Taylor wanted what he said that stuck out to me as a believer was he wanted something that he could present to people that he didn't have to hide behind his mansions or his staff members. He was like, well, I'm a prophet, but if I make a real prophecy, oh, people won't believe that. Like he claims to prophesy 9/11. I'm getting some crazy feedback. I'm trying to like just push through it.
That's probably mine on my end, dude. Yeah.
Let me just make my point. Is he said that he wanted to actually give something that would handle people's criticism. That's what attracted a lot of us to him. Is that he said, well, if I heal people, like for real heal people, and we know those are like questionable at best. So like the whole like dream face-to-face stuff. But my point is like he never claimed to be this man that was like hiding like he is now. To anybody who has like any critical thinking, that's just not who I signed up for when I went there. Was somebody who was like, it was somebody who was like facing the criticisms of the modern day, and like, I don't want to get into this stuff, but like I've studied Christian apologetics, like all the debates, like with Christopher Hitchens and all that stuff. I studied that stuff, before I even went there. And I am a believer personally. Like I find you guys to be more sane by like 1,000 times than anybody from David Taylor world. And yeah, I just want to make the point, like I said in the comments, like he wants to be so famous that he would be like on Joe Rogan basically, but he could not handle a Joe Rogan style interview. He could not handle the first critical question that came his way. And so if he wants to be so mainstream and wants to bring this to the world, and he can't even handle like the deposition, he can't handle a pointed question. like like he said, like just be honest. Like you can't even handle an honest conversation. The only time he has anything is like he gets these really like lowball interviews with like Christian channels that they just it's like acting, but he never has like a tough conversation with anybody. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. He'll only have conversations with people that he has brainwashed, basically. That people that are, I don't want to say uneducated, but people that are like kind of like you said, like you went there in search of hope, right? Like you went in search of something greater, right? That's how you would explain it before, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So that's you're making perfect sense. I think is everybody tracking with what Tom's saying about this? If not, we can elaborate.
Like that girl Lisa Kay who
Yep.
you uploaded one of her videos recently?
Yep.
I met Lisa Kay, and really nice girl. Like if she were to hear this, like I think she's great, and I really resonated with the whole Liberty University because, like I said in my interview, I went to school for this stuff. Like I was a religion major at UF, which is secular,
Yeah.
and like I like fought through all the I don't care where you land. If you've like done the hard questions, I respect what conclusion you came to, but I wrestled with the philosophical side of things. Like
Yeah.
maybe you doesn't sound like it or whatever, but I have a degree. I've done philosophical studies, and I went there for like the actual like phenomenal stuff, like,
Yeah.
you know, like all the stuff he says. And
Yeah.
and she said the same kind of thing, but when I read the Bible, it wasn't people on pins and needles, you know, around this like guy hiding behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz. Like if it was Jesus, Jesus just did stuff and people couldn't contest it. Like it was just like, bam, I healed you. Like, what are you gonna do about it? There was no contest.
Chris Highfield said, "Go Gators."
What's that?
Chris Highfield, one of the chat members, he said, "Go Gators."
Oh yeah, go Gators. We won last week. Hopefully we win this week.
Cutlass Supreme, how you doing? Good to see you. And the thing is
Yeah.
there's other cult members in this group too that haven't come forward with their stories yet. They're not ready to. You're not like survivors, you know. And this is what's good about it is people like you are going to give the other people the strength to come forward and finally release their stories. Like there are people who said, "Hey, I was in the Children of God cult." There have been some other people that have also been involved in David's cult that I don't mention here because they don't want to be mentioned, right? There's a group behind this that is out of David's cult that is saying there is something very wrong here. David is doing some very dangerous things with people's lives and that it needs to be stopped.
It needs to be stopped, and people, like for me, this is 6 years ago, but a lot of it still, like I carry it in a heavy way, and all I wanted was to kind of have a two-way conversation. For me, it's been 6 years. For some people, longer. I just wanted to have like a two-way conversation, and we know, like being around David, it's like he's gonna call you names, and they're gonna peer pressure you, and basically you're not gonna be able to have an honest conversation. Just like Lord Pender said, like if you call in and he happened to get him, he knew if he said the wrong thing, most likely David would have just hung up on him. And you couldn't have an honest conversation and actually just ask questions. Like, you know, no, like you have to either like drink the Kool-Aid or get out is what they make you do.
I got a good question here. That's a good question, Michael Perry. Thank you. Tom, do you feel you could fall into another cult someday? If not, what has changed your mind about that? About your perception of cults and whatnot? Now that you know the signs of what it looks like, do you have higher gut instincts about following, you know, a religious leader now?
Like I gravitate towards like strong, you know, like a cult. Like, okay, I'll give you like, if these people are crazy, like I don't want to talk about anything pertaining to my life. But one thing I found is like, when I started studying investing, like Apple products, like that's a cult like following with like Apple, and I like Apple products, not like David Taylor cult, but I've seen that like cult-like followings get good results in like investments, like with Apple. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah. David's got all Apple products. David's got Apple products, y'all. That's what kind of products he uses is Apple products. I like Apple products too, but I'm not a fucking cult member. I like Apple products because I like the ease of operation, but I'm with you. You really could. You could look at the dynamics of the Apple Corporation like a cult, dude, really. Really.
Yeah,
like right.
I do kind of gravitate towards stuff like that, but I've become more aware of that tendency.
Yeah. So you're a little more aware of the tendency for like of religious leaders now. Like you're gonna pay closer attention to the teachings now, and to the leader.
It's like you did that interview with Dion, and it's like he was talking about how nice they were, because people, you know, he thought they were so nice, and then they turn on you when they found out you're leaving, because he had diabetes, he just couldn't take it anymore, and so like kind of people are looking for a tight-knit family, and we were like, well, we really believe in this message, like we want a tight-knit family around these ideological beliefs, but then it ends up all this other stuff that you didn't sign up for. And if you don't want to sign up for it, then they treat you like really toxic family. You know, I'm sure a lot of people know what it's like to have really toxic family, and so that's kind of what it's like.
Okay. So you'd compare it to a toxic family relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your opinion, are we going about this the right way, Tom? In your opinion, the way all the channels are going about it, how we're making a stink about his whole life, all the stuff he's doing, are we going about this the right way, or do you think we're not doing it the right way? Do you think we're going about it the wrong way?
No, like I told you, you mentioned, like, I realized after finding, like, your channel, I didn't stand a chance, man. Like, trying to do things, like, in a churchy way, mm-hmm. I didn't stand a chance, because they knew exactly what I was doing, and they thought it was funny. You know, they make fun of church people, you know, like, they cry that they're being persecuted, and then they make fun of church. So when I tried to be, or anybody tried to be loving and try to do things the way that we all kind of are used to in churches, they attack you viciously. Like they get, like, gleefully excited, like they, like, salivate to attack you when you come at it from a churchy direction. And if I kept doing that, I just would have kept being beat up. They would just keep beating up on me, and a lot of people, it's not like I'm meant to be, like, I'm not a punching bag human being. Like, whatever, like, I'm not, like, I come from, you know, a background that, like, I don't just put up with that, but I was trying to be Christ-like or whatever. So my point is like, I wouldn't say that you're doing, like I said, it's not just you're doing it the right way, like, what.
I think we lost him. Shit, we lost him. Sorry, guys. Hang on, let me call him back. Yeah, we've met him before. This is Tom. I'm watching the chat. You guys are fucking funny, dude. You guys, I'm laughing inside. I'm trying not to laugh with Tom on the phone, but I'm laughing my ass off at the chat too.
That was my fault.
Don't even sweat.
It does this.
Oh, I got a question from Michael Perry. At what point did you realize the cult wasn't what you thought? Did you feel like you failed the cult when you left?
Okay, I just want to reiterate my last point, though. Like, what you guys are doing here, I don't know if I would say it's the only way, but again, like, what we were trying to do, the churchy way, was not working, and they were, like, gleefully attacking us for trying to, like, do it the quote-unquote loving way, you know?
Yep. William Don said you can tell. William Don put a good comment out to you, man. You can tell this dude is intelligent. Yeah, dude, you're fucking super smart, bro. We can all sit back here and tell that right from here, dude. You're fucking smart, dude.
No,
Houston Shep, what's up, my brother? Houston Shep, my brother.
I really appreciate that. Because they make you feel like really anybody, like they take any gift, like Vicky Yohe. You know what they told her? They said, Vicky Yohe, you're just a voice. You're nothing but a voice.
That's all she was there for, right? Just to enhance his ministry. They were both there to get rich, though, dude. That was it, man. Vicky was there to enhance her voice, and David is going to use her to get his ministry boosted because she was a famous, you know, a psalmist. That's what they called her. She wasn't a gospel singer. She was called a psalmist. Like, because she's got apparently this really angelic voice, but now she fucking drives for Uber. So if you're in this cult, not saying you, but, like, look at Vicky where she's at now, man. She had a really blossoming career. And she...
No, I don't disagree. Like, trust me and believe, but I'm just saying that's how they belittle people. Is someone like Vicky, they'll say, like, oh, well, they'll take, like, Michelle told me that I had a dumb spirit.
Yeah.
They will attack, like, they are very intelligent and calculating about how they attack you. So they will belittle you for what you're good at. So when Vicky Yohe, you're just a voice. Or Michelle told me, you know, personally on the phone, I stumbled over a word and she's like, you have a dumb spirit, you know, and so they do that, and they don't care if you don't attain your goals. One thing Chin said when I was there, is he says, you know, a lot of you guys in this room have great futures ahead of you, but all of your futures are nothing compared to David E. Taylor's, and you just need to sacrifice your future for David E. Taylor's future. And that's literally what Chin was saying to us in 2016, was that like, oh, you guys, I see you're talented young people, and you just need to sacrifice your future because David Taylor's future is more important than your future.
The question, we got that. Thank you for answering all that, for sure. At what point did you realize the cult wasn't what you thought, and did you feel like you failed the cult when you left?
It was weird. I mean, it was always weird, man, because I found out of it because they were saying, like, Jesus is visiting people face to face, and I had that experience. Like, I believe, like, I'm a Christian through and through, and, like, Jesus came to me in a dream, you know, like I said, like, I had that experience, but everything else was weird from day one. Like, it was weird, and I was there because I wanted to encounter Jesus face to face, like, kind of like that girl Lisa Kay said, you know,
yeah.
Like, she had friends going to the, like, Bethel, Heidi Baker. I was in that same world of, like, young people looking for the cutting edge move of God. And, you know, like, if you're in, like, Mozambique with Heidi Baker, people are literally trying to kill you. If you go listen to Heidi Baker, she has amazing testimonies. People are, like, literally trying to kill you, and they have terrorist attacks and, you know, like, diseases, famine, all these things, and they're there for a higher cause. So when I got to David Taylor's, you know, anyone who's there is like, yeah, I'm gonna just look past some stuff for a while, but you just realize, like, no, this isn't what I signed up for. Like, something weird is going on.
Okay. What was like that? I think what was that point where you said they kind of kicked you out in the middle of the night because you started asking questions, right?
Yeah, they kicked me out in the middle of the night. I mean, after that, like, I still, like, you feel like you did something wrong, you know, like, yeah, I felt
they
like
shun you.
I did feel like yeah, because you get into this, like, mode of, like, you have to keep sacrificing. So yeah, like, it's weird, but you have to have faith, and you have to just keep on, you know, like, falling on your sword. You just got to keep sacrificing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't have enough faith, you know, like, I didn't, like, I was, like, a year later, I was, like, trying to get back with them sometimes. Like, a year later, I would get one of their automated phone calls, and I would have second guesses and be like, you know, like, oh, this is where I should have been the whole time. You know, so it took me, like, 6 years, like I said, to, like, really be confident and be like, yeah, no, I'm happy I didn't spend my time there. And I can just, yeah.
In your personal time, in your personal life, how many relationships were destroyed because of this cult? Are they repaired now?
Yeah, that's what I said in my interview first time. Like, they don't care. I had a lot of relationships destroyed, and they did not care. I mean, they don't care to this day. If they heard that interview, like, nobody called me, like, oh, we didn't realize you were sleeping in your car. Like, I lost relationships with my family, with but the church I went to before that, and no, things were never really the same after that. Like, you know, like, as a man, like, I went to have, like, independence as a man and to, like, build myself just to be on my own 2 feet, but something was broken. Like, to be part of that, like, I burned bridges, and I broke relationships to be part of that, and they don't care. They don't care to this day.
Have you been able to repair any of those friendships or those relationships with, you know, with those people that you were forced to cut ties with?
Yeah, to an extent. Like, I talked to, like, my family and some of these people to an extent, but things were never the same. Like, it was a years long process.
And again, guys, Tom was only there for a short amount of time, and what he said before is the manipulation. This is real Manchurian Candidate type shit, guys. It really is. You think Manchurian Candidate crap is real? Look at MK Ultra and what the CIA was doing between the 40s and the 60s with fucking mental patients and fucking hospitals and prisoners. You want to read some weird shit that our government was doing on mind control tactics? Feeding fucking LSD to people to see what they could do and mind control and weaponize humans? Real shit.
Yeah, I agree. Like, people, yeah, it's all like disclosed. A lot of that stuff is public information now.
Yeah, it really is. All the stuff the churches are doing. Do you still have friends in the cult? And do you speak to them, Tom?
Well, you tried to have a conversation with somebody who like was more on the fence, like with you remember you tried to have a conversation with Thomas, and he's not in it, but he has an attitude that like if David Taylor is still around in his mind, then he thinks God is still supporting him in some capacity, or else he would have been taken out by now. So he's not in it, but people have that fear that they're like I did life insurance sales, you know, and some people, if you do life insurance sales and you get turned down, you know, your first week of cold calling, they get a lot of people hanging up on them. They'll be like, God doesn't want me to do life insurance sales, you know, and I think it's the same thing. Like some people, you know, they see like somebody has success and they're like, well, God's supporting it. They just have a very, like Thomas is a smart man in his own right, but you know, that like fear mindset is if you see people and he's still around after all these years, they think God must be supporting him, even if he's doing all these terrible things.
I got a good question from one of my very good friends, Houston Shelton Bees. Y'all check him out. He's a beekeeper. How many like yourself, Tom, were kicked out while you were there?
Well, you know, like our friend, the truck driving couple, he got physically handled by them. Like something that he could have gone directly to the police the day it happened. You know, like he had like, I believe, like physical marks on his body from them like physically kicking them out. And you know, like your story, it was a husband and wife, and he went there, and so he had an experience where he saw the webpage. And he's a Christian, so he said that he had an experience that he felt like it was weird, but he was supposed to go there, and he ended up meeting his wife, you know, and they're married to this day. So he had that sort of like sixth sense about going there, and like I said, they physically like took him in a chair and like knocked him on the ground, to the point that he could have gone to the police and shown them the injuries, but I think it's very strong intimidation, you know, like
A lot of fear tactics going on, huh?
Yeah, people are scared to speak out.
And I think you bring up a good point there. Why nothing's been done about this guy? Because people have been scared to speak out about him until now, until we came along, us as a group, until we all stood up and said, "There's something going wrong here. You guys need to pay attention." You guys meaning our fucking elected officials, our paid government officials, the IRS agents that's just got $80 billion fucking dollars. Why don't you guys get off your fucking ass and start auditing some of these fucking corrupt tax exempt organizations that are laundering that fucking $80 billion from you guys right under your fucking nose? Kosher?
Yeah.
I think that would be just fine if the IRS would do that. Finally got off their ass with that $80 billion and started doing their job.
Yeah, amen.
People like
Amen,
David,
brother.
people like David need to start being audited straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hey, you haven't filed your taxes since 2017. Guess what? Audit. Where's all the money?
And Alex, you're absolutely right. Christians have like a Bible verse where they're like, oh, we should just settle this among ourselves. So a Christian would never have done what you're doing. And that's why I'm so grateful for like non-churchy people, because guys like you who are, you know, rough around the edges, you're just going to attack at an angle, and it's going to actually be effective in church. Like churchy people like us, like we're just like meat for them. They're just like I said, they're salivating over us because they know that we're going to play by a certain set of rules, and they're not going to play by those rules, you know, and they're going to be so happy that like we tie our arms behind our back, and they just are happy to like run circles and to abuse that all day. And like when I was there, Alex, there was an electrician who flew out there, and they were like, yeah, we like to keep the work in the kingdom of God. And he told me, like, yeah, they lowballed me. Like, they super lowballed the offer of, like, the work I needed to do.
Yeah.
So it's what they do. It's to other Christians in the flock. And it's shyster behavior. Like, I've seen this behavior just in other communities in general. Like, people pretend they're part of your in-group, and they're like, whether it's Christian or different, whatever the in-group is, and they use that to abuse the person that they're pretending, the sheep in wolf's clothing. They use that, they pretend to be part of the in-group. So that's why I'm so thankful for you, because none of us would have even thought to do it, and then we would have had all these reasons to not do what you're doing. So thank you so much, Alex. It's really making all the difference.
Well, no, we're thankful for you being here to share the information, because you were inside eyes, dude. You were inside eyes. You saw what was going on. We're out here putting. I was watching the movie Midway earlier, and it's. I want to relate this to the guys who basically cracked the code during the Pacific War, right? Those guys were the ones who changed the tide of World War II, the code crackers, right? And I was kind of relating that to what we're doing, right? We don't know what's going on inside this cult, but we can get those little bits and pieces of information and fill in the lines in between with what we know. We have the dates, we have the name of the caterers, you know, time and a date. It's all that. That's what it gives us. Not definitive answers, but clues of what's going on. And there's definitely all these clues that are pointing to a very dangerous and a very destructive religious cult that's right here, guys. That's laundering money. It's a sex cult, forced labor cult. It's all happening. And it's all, in the chat here, it's relating everything to Jim Jones, Tom. What David's doing.
I wish, I mean, people have been hurt so much. People have been hurt so badly. Like, not just, like, I feel like I have a lot of hurt, and I'm not nearly as badly hurt. And so many people have been way worse hurt than me just by this alone. And like, very dear to me is like the actual like face-to-face encounters with Jesus. But it's not, again, like all kinds of people are having these experiences around the world and always have been having these experiences. It's not lost to like he says, it's been lost to history. It's not true. It's like all over the world. If you look for all over, I can name a few people, but if you just type in like Jesus Christ visited me on YouTube, all kinds of people are having experiences. And he, for a while, he was trying to claim that all of them were connected to him. He was saying,
you know whose death he just prophesied to?
Oh, the Queens?
Yeah.
I saw that. It's ridiculous, man.
I'm with you. I'm really.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Okay, well, one thing I wanted to say when I saw that was he was like, because I talk to all kinds of people. Like, I talk, you know, if I was not open-minded, I wouldn't be talking to you, okay? So I have friends who, like, are dating people in Russia, and, like, I have friends that they like Russia. You know, they don't think Russia bad. Like, and, you know, I respect, again, thank you for serving in our military, but, like, not all Russians are evil. So
no.
I read that, and he was like, you know, Putin speaks half-truths. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, okay, so I read that thing, and he talked about, you know, Putin, and it's like, okay, like, you don't think our government speaks half-truths? Like, if I'm going to a supernatural, I want some supernatural insights. Like, I want to know something I didn't know. Like, I know that Putin speaks half-truths. Like, all people in the government that are fighting each other for control of this planet are speaking half-truths. So they just kind of paint Putin as the boogeyman. That's why as a thinking person, and there's a lot of Christians who are thinking Christians like me. Like, I'm not some like special person. Like, a lot of Christians, like, people have some supernatural experiences, and then they have more questions. You know, like, so if someone just kind of has this like basic bitch, like, oh, like, the queen's dead, there's a changing of the guard. Okay, like, no duh, like, I don't need Jesus Christ to come tell me that, you know, or like, or like Putin, you know, Putin is, you know, telling me how, like, okay, like, because part of being a Christian is like, we're supposed to have the whole world, we don't have like an American mindset where like, oh, the Russians are bad. Like, part of being a Christian is you do have a global mindset, and you don't just automatically assume like, oh, all Russians are evil. I don't know if that's what they were kind of saying or what, but again, it just was so, my point is it was so simplistic, and that's why, like, it's easy to get people into, like, because you can see that those are also smart people on the stage. I talked to Steve, Tony, Joseph, all these people. They're not stupid people. Like, they're intelligent people as well.
Yeah.
And they get forced by David just to kind of think in these very, like, rigid, like, basic bitch ways of thinking. And then, you know, like, if you have Jesus Christ, you know, like, Jesus Christ was a really smart guy. Like, he outsmarted the Pharisees who were educated, and he wasn't, you know, like, people shouldn't be reduced to the lowest common denominator. And that's what it seems to be at that cult, is like, people are forced to be stupid, you know, like, to dumb down their thinking.
Yeah.
And so for years, like, all of us are like forced to be dumb. Like, the whole world, you know, is being treated like that with the media and different institutions. They're trying to dumb us down.
Tom?
And then include David Taylor's doing it too. Sorry.
No, you're good. Do you still feel the pain of leaving JMMI to the point where you suffer from ever joining any type of church again? No, you're still strong in your faith, right? You're...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still a Christian. But
okay, good.
After...
Good.
I don't know, that's a rabbit hole. Yeah, I'm still a Christian.
Okay, good, perfect, all right. Have you ever been threatened since leaving?
What, say it again?
Have you ever been threatened since you left?
Just, like that you're going to hell, you know, like, you're gonna die. I think, like, they have a bulletin board. I saw that when I did my interview. Like, I was on a bulletin board of church enemies. Like, they have my picture, and they put like curses on me.
Yeah, they real do this shit, guys. It's called the Trader Board. Shayla Hudson, I think, was the one that exposed that out to us. She's like, yeah, here's a picture of this board. They put all these people's names on it that they pray against and that are like evil doers, and they talk bad about David. He made the board. Yeah, David made the board. And they walk by it and they like...
Don't call him David.
Don't call him David. David. Let's see here. Let's see if I got any questions here. So let's take a peek. I think that's... You want to be on the board? I want to be on the board too.
Be on the board?
Yeah, it's for real voodoo shit, Houston Shelton, man. Oh, how many names are on the board? Probably a bunch. Last time we seen it, it was like a big, one of those big, like 4x6 whiteboards with full of names. And then it had like nicknames next to it. That's what it was. It's called the Trader Board.
That's some, like, really, that's not what they're supposed to be doing. Like, the church is supposed to be everybody. Like, they're supposed to be loving people. That's not. So anyway, my life, just for anyone listening, my life has gotten better since I left. Like, I have friends that are multi-millionaires and successful YouTube stars that I compare myself to. So I get depressed on that level, but for like average people, like, I'm doing good. My life has gotten better.
Since you've left, definitely. So your life has changed. All that crap has gone away since you left the cult, basically.
Yeah, and I bootstrapped myself out of living in my car, and I clawed my way out of poverty, like all that.
So you literally built yourself back up by yourself without anybody's help. Man, sometimes that's the best thing to do in life, dude, is build yourself back up. Especially coming out of a situation like that. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, you know, but the fact that you built yourself up out of this, man, that's just, dude, that's just a feat of fucking human nature, in my opinion, man, what you did. And for you to come out here and share the experience, and even though you were only there for such a short amount of time, the amount of damage that was done.
No, it affects you. Like I mean, that other guy, Dion, it affects you, and like I said, it gets in your head. Like just like people are saying that they fall asleep to the deposition. You know, like I wasn't even doing that. You know,
Yeah.
but like
We were.
in your mind,
Dude, we were though,
Yeah.
bro. That's the thing. We were, bro. When that deposition hit, anybody in here will tell you, hey, I fell asleep to that deposition fucking probably a lot of times. A lot of times.
because he's claiming, well, the deposition, yeah, just there's nothing like this guy on the internet. Like this guy, like Lord Pender said, maybe crazy Islamic clerics are the only thing comparable to what this guy's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a full-blown money laundering scam like we talked about before. It's like a religious Ponzi scheme, basically. Full-blown religious.
And that's what I was attracted to, like, this, like, yeah, like, I saw strength in that. Like, wow, like, this guy is really, he's edgy, you know, like, oh, he's really edgy. But I didn't, not all this other crap. Like, no, like, I would rather, no, like, I didn't sign up for all this other crap.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could say one thing to David right now, what would you tell him still? Any of the cult members listening,
I don't think
put a word out.
Just one thing.
Put a word out to the cult members. Tom, you were there. Tell them.
Everybody's having face-to-face encounters with Jesus and God the Father. Like YouTube is full of interviews of people having those exact experiences.
I would like
all
to
the
start.
time, and they've been happy. Yeah.
What I would personally like to see, right? This is just me, okay? This is just me. I would like to start seeing some videos of these encounters or some pictures.
Well, okay, there's a couple directions I could go with that. Because they have like Photoshop shit they came out with. And people, you know, you've seen that like picture of Jesus on stage and it's just like really grainy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like you can't, like again, like we shouldn't have to settle for shit like that. Like you're right. Like all I can say is people deserve their own experience. And so what was good, Alex, was when you go there, the point is that you were supposed to have your own experience. It wasn't supposed to be all about David being an intermediary.
Yeah.
Like that's what Protestants complain about the Catholic Church, is that they try to put an intermediary. And then David did the same thing. He even put the keys of the Catholic Church on stage. So he made himself just like the Catholic Church, an intermediary.
Yeah.
And the point when you went there in 2016 was you read his book, and his book just points to the Bible. And the Bible says that, you know, in John, the book of John, Jesus will manifest himself to you. So the point was you have your own experience. And it was never supposed to be about David. It wasn't supposed to be the David Taylor show. It was just him kind of helping you out to having your own experience and being self-taught.
Did you ever see?
Okay.
Tom, did you ever see David glow?
No.
Okay.
No. Like David Taylor, he tried, like I said, once he like bopped me. He was trying to slay everybody in the spirit, and he bopped me on the head. And like one of his security guards had to slam my ass down on the seat because I didn't fall under the power.
You didn't fall under the power of God, everybody.
The power of God.
Power of God, everybody. Amen, brothers and sisters. Hallelujah.
Glory.
Houston Shelton,
yeah.
I'll answer that question for you. I absolutely think 100% David is doing hard drugs. I 100% think if I don't think he is so much anymore, Houston Shelton, because this is just my opinion. Because one, it looks like he's about to have a fucking heart attack. Okay, for real. And Tom will tell you they were worried about his health back in 2016, right, Tom?
Yep.
They were worried about his health, and that motherfucker's doing drugs, dude. Houston, we know each other's past, man. We know. You watch that piece of shit on stage, and you watch him sit there and fucking gnaw on his lip and shit, man. Yeah, that motherfucker's on drugs, dude. Whatever drugs he's on, there's some good drugs, too. He acts like it. Yeah, he does. He acts like it. Yes, he does. He does.
I don't want to get off the rails with this, but I wanted to say like if people are using like cultures, I'm a religion major, Alex, so cultures for centuries would use like mushrooms or ayahuasca, and they would have
DMT.
encounters with
Yep.
God, and I think that's valid personally.
Yeah, see, and that's dude, we could talk about that on another level. I won't get into psychologicals and psychotropics, and we won't go there. Just let's not go there, bro.
That's fine. I just put it out there, but that's completely fine.
I definitely think when you start, it's like, definitely, I think when you use those type of substances in moderation, and you're in the right setting, and everybody can have spiritual experiences. I definitely fucking believe that, okay? I definitely, people in the right state of mind, and you put yourself in a state of mind, like, you can have whatever, your spiritual experience, whatever you call your spiritual experience, okay? Whatever God you believe, whether you believe in devil, God, whoever, okay? Not here to say who to believe in, what to believe in, not my deal, okay? I'm just calling out David's cult, but I believe, in essence, everybody can have their own spiritual experiences in their own mind, man. I really do. Like he was saying, ayahuasca, which is DMT, it's a fucking root, right? So it's harvested from a plant down in South America. It's only native to South America, I believe. And then mushroom, psilocybin. You know, there's definitely, man, peyote. You know, it even says, what is it? Even God says, I have given you all the seed-bearing plants and earth to use, and these are good. You should use them, right? You got marijuana, you got peyote. You got psilocybin, which now they're testing on depression patients in microdoses, right? People are now starting to microdose psilocybin for depression. I've even heard they're doing some studies on Alzheimer's patients. Real shit, guys.
So, I just saw somebody said, why do you think people give David money? It's because some people want a narcissist, unfortunately. I think some people want a narcissist to tell them what to think, and people don't want to think for themselves.
I was called a narcissist today by, here's Negan. He called me a narcissist and said that I have an ego on the channel. But if I was a narcissist, I wouldn't be here.
You?
Yeah.
Oh my God, David's the biggest narcissist.
Yeah, no, I was called a narcissist today by, there was a guy in the chat earlier. He's like, oh, wow, you're really turning into a narcissist and your ego is really showing. I'm like, dude, and he was in the chat earlier. He was real pleasurable to have in the chat, but he's out here calling me a narcissist, and this guy's a Baptist, right? He told me he's Baptist. I was like, okay, cool. Why aren't you standing up against this cult leader if you're a Baptist and you're supposed to be hoity-toity or whatever you call it, whatever the case, right? If these people are religious, why isn't it the religious groups that are standing up against these cults that are doing harm to the flock? Why am I doing it? Why aren't you guys doing it? The church, the religious leaders, the pastors, the priests, the ones that are really doing right in the church, why aren't you guys doing it? Negan, why aren't you doing it? You're Baptist, you're religious. Why aren't you taking a stand against it?
So you're absolutely right, and that's why again, I humbly admit that I would not have stood a snowball chance in hell the way I was doing it. Like I told you, I just had to put it on the back burner, and I moved on with my life, and that's what I had to do because I did I couldn't do it. You have confidence, narcissism and confidence, kind of are two sides of the same coin, right?
I always tell people, I think everybody, in a sense, has a hint of narcissism, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have any fucking pride, dude. That's the way I see it. Yeah. Now, when you take narcissism to the fucking extreme is when you start getting people like David. You really do, where they can think they do no fucking wrong, their shit doesn't stink, they're better than everybody. I fucking am no means doing this out of vanity. I'm not buying my way into heaven, trying to get out of hell. Dude, I make my own fucking money. I don't need YouTube to pay my bills, okay? I get nothing pleasurable out of this. This is done off of sheer motivation, everybody. Let's just keep that in mind, okay? This is a sheer motivation, sheer morality of our society that's being fucking broken down by pieces of shit like David. And we got people right here saying, yes, these people are fucking destroying lives in our very own society. And the government saying, oh, there's nothing wrong here. We're going to sit here with our fucking heads up our ass. Everything's fucking cool. Then we got people right here, Tom, saying, no, it's not fucking cool. It's not fucking cool what he's doing.
So let me run through some points that now that like I got the TVs off, I just had a few points that I want to make. One of them being like somebody that, yeah, preach, by the way, like for sure. Like don't let me cut you off. I just, like I have my confidence now to speak finally. I just want to say like people who have been there for like 10 years, like me or whoever, like they should be doing, the promise they were given is that they were going to do the works Jesus Christ did and greater. Like that's, like these people are supposed to be literally emptying out hospitals. Like how you challenged David to like go empty out hospitals. He claimed to have done that like 3 times.
I'm challenging Catherine Crick and David, both of those fucking pieces of shit. Catherine Crick, you're on my list. I challenge you both. I'll take my channel down completely. I will never post another fucking video about you or Catherine or anybody of the Prosperities if you guys actually go to St. Jude's and you heal every sick fucking child in that hospital from the top floor down. And there's got to be fucking witnesses
That was the
too.
claim. Like he says that he's done it in 3 different hospitals. But, where was he during COVID? He was hiding.
Yeah, David, where were you during COVID? You were supposed to be helping people heal, right? You're supposed to be this great... You even called yourself a healing evangelist, David. And you never come out fucking during COVID. There were hundreds of millions of people dying. And you're fucking nasty ass stayed in hiding, fucking eating Big Macs and fucking Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you're so funny, man.
That's what he did, dude. That's... David probably sat there, had fucking Uber Eats on speed dial. No bullshit.
So that's the promise that I felt so strongly about as a Christian is like, there are Christians today that like are, in my worldview, are seeing real healing. And we want to see the verse John 14:12. Jesus said, you will do the works I did and greater. And so we want to literally do like walking on water or like, so like, why aren't people doing that? Like you're selling books about the power of protons and Marvel superhero powers, but is anybody actually doing these things? Because that's what you're claiming, and nobody's actually doing these things. You're just collecting money.
Well, and that's part of the whole end time prophets is like there's supposed to be these great signs and wonders, and you know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen one sign and wonder come by any of these prophets or any of these people. All I see is a lot of people jumping up and down, praising God, hallelujah, you've been healed. No doctors, no medical proof, nothing. But yet all these people have been healed. Right?
Yeah.
Aaron says, praise
No,
Jesus.
you're right. I've seen enough personally, Alex, to know my faith, but the point was that it was supposed to be everybody having their own experiences. Like I've had mine enough to be confident to have this conversation, and I'm not like triggered or offended at you saying that.
Yeah.
But everyone's supposed to be having these experiences. It's not supposed to be the David Taylor show where we watch him like strut around on stage. We're all supposed to be having these experiences ourselves in our own lives.
Absolutely. That's where I kind of feel you're fuck yeah, dude. It's if people are going to have these experiences with Jesus, it's not going to be David saying, "Oh, you've had this experience because of me." No, motherfucker, it's because I'm within my own spiritual self. I'm going to have the spiritual relationship with Jesus on my own without you. Yeah, huge insight, right, Jasper? Huge insight, right, Jasper? Total mind control what these cults do to these people, dude. Full-blown mind control, man. Real shit. Real shit. You want to weaponize somebody? Fucking control their mind, dude. They'll do anything. They'll do anything.
And so you're absolutely right, Alex. And sorry, things are coming to me that I remember David saying, like this is how he phrased it. He was like he phrased it like I'm running towards Jesus. And even in his book, he says in his book, like, oh, there were like 1 or 2 people that were ahead of him. That like God just told him like, oh, in like, like if you're playing a video game, like in the global rankings, he's like, you're number 3 right now, like, so like David was like, I'm always gonna be ahead of you guys. Like that's not really the right attitude. You're supposed to want the people to surpass you who are like being trained by you. But even back in 2016, David was like, he's like, yeah, I'm never gonna let you guys surpass me. Like he said that even in 2016.
Yeah. Yeah. He wants to be basically the end time Moses, really. He wants to be the next. He wants to be God, basically. That's where David's trying to put himself, because I've heard him say also, I was in one of my services, and when I got out of my body and got off stage, I looked back up on the stage, and it wasn't me, it was God walking back on forth and stage, like he was the embodiment of God. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. You wouldn't fit in God's body. God's body is probably way more fit than yours. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. I've heard him say that. I'm like, really? He really tried to make himself the embodiment of Jesus, saying he had an out of body experience and he was the one walking in God's body. I'm like, yeah, fucking right, dude. The fuck on with your shit, dude.
Okay, here's another thing. Like Thomas never had a. I talked to Thomas. He's like, yeah, I never had the face-to-face dream of Jesus. And I'm like, look, it says in the Bible, if you give money to a poor person, you're having a face-to-face encounter of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like it says that in the Bible.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that's Bible. If you're giving money to a poor person, it says that you're having a face-to-face encounter of Jesus Christ through that poor person.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey Tom, we're running on almost 2 hours here on the live stream, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I need to cut it off, dude. It's getting late. I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow with my beekeeping mentor. I'd love to stay talking.
Thank you so much.
No, dude, anytime you're ready, anytime you want to come and talk when we're live, dude, you call me any fucking time, dude. Because there's people here that want to listen.
All right, you got I'm like ready to go, but
yeah, no, and I got to go too, actually, dude. I just got a call from my beekeeping mentor. I got to call him because I got some work to do with him tomorrow, dude. I really do, guys. I'm gonna talk to chat.
Everyone in the chat. I'm wound up. Sorry, but thank you so much again. I'll get off now.
No, you're good. But we'll wrap. We'll talk some more, dude. We'll talk some more again, dude. We'll get in touch tomorrow, man. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good night, Tom. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. So that was Tom. He was part of David's cult. He's a survivor of the cult, and he likes to come on here because every so often he'll come on with a little bit and piece of information that he remembers, and he likes to tell us these things, man. He likes to tell us these things because he is a surviving cult member, and for a Christian to come out of a cult and to call a cult is not good. It's not good for David's get down. Not good at all. David's get down because of this is falling apart because you have real believers coming out of this cult saying, hey, this guy's wrong. He's a piece of shit. What he's doing is fucking people over, and we need to pay attention to it, basically. So, that being said, y'all, thank you. Happy Friday night. Tom, you're the fucking man. Thank you for being here. Y'all, thank you for understanding the channel and understanding what we're doing here. And if any of you think I'm a fucking narcissist, please email me and let's talk. Tell me I'm a fucking narcissist, all right? Because I would like to think that you guys would call me on it if I was, okay? So, and I would like to think that none of you would be here if I was a narcissist. So, man, if you guys even think for one fucking hint, dude, that I'm a fucking narcissist, please tell me, okay? That way I can reevaluate what I'm doing with my life, and, you know, I don't want to be that guy like fucking David, okay? So, again, y'all, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for understanding what we're doing here with this cult and trying to stop it. Fill out the fraud reports, get involved. You know, if you want to see this asshole stopped, we gotta play the bureaucratic game, guys. We gotta play the fucking long game. This isn't a short game. Fill out the fraud reports. We gotta get the IRS involved. That's the only way this will stop. I promise you. If we get the IRS involved, Houston Shelton brought up a good point. It must go high up. No, I don't. Houston, his ass is grass, dude. His ass is fucking grass. It's just time now. It's just time. We got to play the long game now. So, y'all have a good night, man. William Don, Cat Mom, Houston Shelton, Tom, Israel #1, Michael Perry, Houston, Soren Alexander. I saw all you guys in here tonight. Chris Com, H. Jasper. You know, I'm fucking loving the way you guys are interacting with the channel, with each other, man. You guys have a mad amount of respect for everybody here. You know, and I can't thank you guys enough for keeping the integrity of the channel strong, because if it wasn't for you guys being here and all of the, you know, just the tolerance, this is a humanity / activist channel, guys. So again, thank you guys for being here, being part of the channel, keeping the channel integrity strong, not allowing for bullshit to come on here because of what we're doing, because you know what we're doing here. We all do, and it is a very fucking serious thing. So Bakashutudeya, yeah, for real. So y'all have a good night, man. Stay safe, have a safe, happy weekend, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Oh yeah, David, you're a piece of shit.